What up, YouTube? It's your boy Drizzle, and we back. So look, today we got an inmate caught trying to sneak over into the women's side of the prison. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to this. Yeah, so apparently, male inmate sitting in a holding waiting facility or whatever the case, tried to sneak over into the women's side to assault a female inmate. Let's check this out, man.
Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. You got to hear this one. Arizona officials say that an inmate at an intake facility was able to sneak past a deputy and try to sexually assault a woman. Yes. To talk about this, I want to bring in prison consultant and friend of the show, Justin Paperny. Justin, good to see you. First, before we even get into the video, and there is a lot to get into, what are inmate intake facilities? First, walk us through that.
Well, when you're taken into custody, there's a whole process. You are going to get naked, or as they say, squat and cough, to make sure you're not smuggling anything in. They'll ask you tons of questions.
Yeah, y'all hear that? For those of y'all who may not have never been in this situation, first thing you do when you get in there is getting stripped but naked.
Questions. They'll give you a prison uniform. They'll drug test you. You'll go through a breathalyzer. And after several hours, at times through segregation or sitting in a little hole waiting for them to come back and forth, they'll process you in. And several hours later, there you are sitting in prison. The intake process can be anywhere from an hour to several hours, depending on how many people they're processing.
Okay, so with that in mind, and that was a great setup to talk about this scenario. So this happened back in April, and the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office just released the video. There are multiple camera angles that show us different views of this alleged sneak attack. So first, a little bit of background here. We have 29-year-old Justin Avery. He was at the intake, transfer, and release facility after he allegedly assaulted 5 different women in public places on the Arizona State University campus.
Oh yeah, he got a problem. Yeah, he need to be locked up for a minute. Kind of freak ass. Yeah, this nigga tripping. It would be one of us.
Tempe. He was arrested outside of a library because authorities say he didn't have any connection with ASU, but he allegedly used the campus as his hunting grounds. Now, court documents allege that he targeted women at random, mostly in parking garages, groping them. This is according to reports from the victims. One woman says that Avery tried to strangle her, so she ended up kicking him in the groin to get him to stop. Now, Avery appeared before an Arizona judge.
He is a repeat sexual predator, attacking 5 women here. It is just extremely unfortunate that the victims could fight the defendant off to prevent the crimes going to their full extent.
Okay, so again, before we get into the specifics of this situation, my gosh, Justin seems to be a guy that, you don't want on the streets.
You just summed it up beautifully. There are some people who are charged and arrested and be able to be given bond to continue to work in the community under supervision. But as I read this, he was charged with sexually assaulting 2 people, then immediately out on bond the next day. So I think it speaks to corrections. Some people should be.
I think when you get out the way that they be talking about, people got to register for like the sex offender list. It need to be like levels to that at this point too. It shouldn't just be that like you a sex offender. Just like I think they said like somebody, we was just speaking about this, I forget with who, but they were saying like it break down like to different categories or whatever, like it is why you have to register as a sex offender, whether you grape somebody or maybe you was just caught pissing in public and then or something like that. They got you on indecent exposure, that type of thing. I think you still got to sign up as a sex offender. I don't know if they got it or not, but if not, they need to have levels to it. Cause the way he sounds, like he need to be a high level sex offender. Like they need to have it like if like you a level 5 down to a level 1. Like level 1 is like the pissing in public type shit. You a level 5, you up here like a serial rapist.
In the community, some should not, and you could argue there's some culpability with the government allowing him to return to the community. Now, I understand the cost of corrections and that it's very expensive to warehouse people in prison. A lot of these states are broke and they don't want to spend more money than they need to. But if someone is at risk to the community and they've been charged with sexually assaulting people, perhaps some people shouldn't be removed or let go on bond, because guess what? He did it again.
So, with that in mind, Avery's arrested. He's taken to jail. And this surveillance video from inside the intake, transfer, and release facility near the jail is from a few days later. So it's April 17th. So this room is divided into two sections. There's a waiting area for women, and then there's another one for men. There's a desk at the dividing line where a deputy sits, supposed to be keeping an eye on things. It's almost 4 in the morning at this point, so a lot of the detainees are trying to sleep. Some are in street clothes, others are in orange jail jumpsuits, and a lot of them have huddled down inside their shirts to try to stay warm or to block out the light. Some are spread out on the floor, and that includes our suspect, Avery. So Avery, as you see in this video, seems to get up off the floor, stretches, appears to wait for one of the deputies to leave the room. Then he sits down and slides out of view of the deputy, allegedly crawling and pushing himself backwards around the desk. He appears to get away with this for a little over a minute as he pushes himself toward a woman in white who's trying to sleep on the floor of the woman's side of the room. Then you have...
Bro, how damn horny do you gotta be to try and go and steal some cooter cat out in the middle of the open lobby of the jail? Nigga, all the lights on, you got 50 other people in here, and you trying to take it from a woman that's asleep. Like, bruh, this man got a serious problem.
Have other cameras, they give us a view of Avery getting closer to the woman before he appears and allegedly starts to pull his pants down and expose himself. Now, there are other women sitting in the same area. One appears to be asleep on the floor.
And she just looking. Ain't nobody gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? Like, yo, deputy, what the hell? Man, I guess it's a level. I mean, shit. I get y'all in jail. People just mind their business. I know it's the whole no snitching thing, man. But sometimes it's level. Fuck all that, man. At some point, you say something. That shit ain't cool like that.
While the other is in a chair, it's unclear from the video if she says something to Avery, but he seems to put his finger to his lips in a be quiet gesture. Court documents say the woman said, hey, get off of her, and that's when Avery allegedly shushed her. And that is when the deputy looks up, realizes what's going on, realizes that...
Look at this old fat ass. How you just don't see nothing? Just all on the computer. It's probably over there nodding off.
Avery's on the wrong side of the room, and as soon as he's spotted, Avery appears to stand up, pulling up his pants as he walks away from the woman on the floor. According to court documents, he later admitted he planned to rape her. So the deputy pulls out restraints, has a conversation with Avery for a few seconds before more deputies show up, put the cuffs on him. Avery seems to resist a little bit as they take him to another part of the facility. So, Justin, I am made of questions. First question I have, why were no restraints put on him? Or is that not what happens in these kind of intake facilities?
Sometimes they happen. It would be a discretion of the correctional officer. Clearly, there was a breakdown. Someone didn't think that it was necessary. So that's breakdown number one. We can go on and on. Two, there aren't that many prisoners inside of that detention center, which tells me it shouldn't be that hard to oversee them. Three, you can look to the makeup that you have male prisoners so close to female prisoners. That's fine if they're nonviolent offenders. You'll see that in halfway houses across the country, male and female prisoners inside of the same institution, living 15, 20 feet from one another. But when you have alleged sex offenders so close to women, it's a problem. So I suspect they're going to go through protocols, look at all of these breakdowns, including holding correctional officers accountable. And there does have to be consequences for correctional officers here. Without consequences, Jesse, then it can just continue. It's going to happen again. Someone needs to be held to account. A woman suffered. They're supposed to be protected while inside of detention. And if anything, she's continued to be victimized. And I hope this person who's going to be in prison for quite some time gets some mental health training, some correctional, some benefit, some education on the inside, because it's likely he's not going to get a life sentence if he pleads guilty. There's no chance.
not, and it is only a matter of time until he do it again. Yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap that there. I just wanted to bring this to y'all in case y'all hadn't seen it. Like, if y'all new over here, please hit the like and sub to the channel, man. We trying to get the page up to 1K. I would appreciate it if y'all not subbed that you hit the sub button for your boy, man. Till the next time, it's your boy Drizzle, and I'm up out of here.